All right, let's talk about the world of high finance. You picture these quiet, stuffy rooms where everyone talks in whispers and billion-dollar deals happen over polite handshakes. And then someone just walks in and lights a stick of dynamite. And that was the president of the United States, talking about the single most powerful person in the global economy, the one person who has their hands on the dials for your mortgage, your car loan, and pretty much your entire financial life. This isn't just trash talk. This is a declaration of war. So you've got one guy who can literally move markets with a single sentence, and another guy who wants him out. But what does this crazy power struggle actually mean for you, for your wallet? Well, to get that, you first have to understand the job at the absolute center of this storm. To really get what's at stake in this fight, you have to understand the prize. And we are talking about what is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful jobs on the entire planet. The chair of the Federal Reserve. You can think of them as the economy's chief referee. Now, the president appoints them, sure, but, and this is the most important part, they are not supposed to be controlled by them. The whole system is designed for them to be completely independent. It's like a firewall between short-term politics and your long-term money. And their powers? Oh man, they're basically superpowers. The Fed chair decides the interest rates that affect everything from your credit card to your savings account. They literally manage the nation's money printer. They police the biggest, baddest banks on Wall Street. And who do they answer to? Not the president. They report directly to Congress. That independence, remember that word? It's the bedrock of this whole thing. So for all this world-bending power, you'd think the salary would be insane, right? Nope. It's just over 246 grand. Look, this isn't a job you take to get rich. It's a job of immense public service. And that responsibility is now at the heart of a massive political firestorm. Okay, so you have this job, right? It's built on that solid bedrock of independence. Now let's watch what happens when a president decides to take a sledgehammer to that bedrock. What started as just some loud criticism has blown up into an all-out siege. And this thing escalated fast. I mean, really fast. Back in 2018, Trump is the one who puts Jerome Powell in the job. But after years of hammering him in public, the whole thing just explodes. By early 2026, the Justice Department is literally serving the Fed with grand jury subpoenas. That's when Powell does something nobody saw coming. He decides to fight back. Publicly. In this absolutely stunning video statement, Powell just lays it all out there. He says, look, this legal stuff should be seen for exactly what it is, a direct result of the administration's constant threats. He was basically accusing the White House, on camera, of using the DOJ as a weapon to get him in line. And what was the official reason for this huge federal investigation, the cover story? An alleged abuse of taxpayer dollars. For what? For a renovation of the Fed's main building, a construction project. But to Powell and pretty much everyone watching, the message was crystal clear. This was never about construction costs. This was about control. And just like that, this whole thing stopped being a simple fight between two guys in Washington. It went global. The entire financial world looked at what was happening and was forced to pick a side. The international reaction was immediate, and it was powerful. 10 of the world's biggest central banks, we're talking the Bank of England, the European Central Bank, they all put out this incredible joint statement. They offered full solidarity to Powell and reminded everyone that having an independent central bank is a cornerstone of a stable economy. And Wall Street jumped in too. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Chase, the biggest bank in America, basically said, hey, all this political pressure, it's going to backfire. It won't make your loans cheaper. By scaring investors, it's actually going to make them more expensive in the long run. But honestly, the most devastating takedown came from the only people who really know what that job is like. 3 former Fed chairs, Greenspan, Bernanke, and Yellen, released a statement together. And they said this is how things are done in emerging markets with weak institutions. That is some serious, high-level shade. It's a polite way of saying the US was acting like a banana republic. So, okay, a political war is raging, the whole world is taking sides, but why should any of this high-level drama matter to you? Simple. Because elections and political fights don't just move headlines, they move your money. Just think about it this way. Every election is basically a multi-trillion-dollar bet on the future of the economy, right? One side tends to favor traditional energy like oil and coal and a bigger defense budget. The other side tends to favor big investments in clean energy like solar and wind. These aren't just little tweaks, they're plans to steer the entire economic ship in a totally different direction.
And you can see it happen in real time. Look at this chart. The day after the 2024 election, money started moving. And I mean billions of dollars. Traditional energy stocks and defense stocks shot up. Clean energy stocks, they took a nosedive. Why? Because big money investors were placing their bets on who the new policies would favor. See? It's their war, but it's being fought inside your 401k.
So, with Jerome Powell's term officially ending in May 2026, and the very real possibility he could be pushed out even sooner, the race to replace him is already on. The question of who gets that chair is now one of the biggest question marks hanging over the entire market. So who's it going to be? Well, the betting markets, and yes, people literally bet money on this stuff, are all over the map. You've got a bunch of contenders in the mix, from Washington insiders to known political allies. But get this, the single most likely outcome, according to the bettors, is that Powell just finishes his term. It just goes to show you that right now, nobody has a clue what's going to happen. And if there's one thing markets absolutely hate, it's not having a clue. And while everyone else was speculating, the president himself threw out the wildest idea of all. And this quote, it perfectly captures his desire to just grab the economic steering wheel himself, which is really what this entire fight has been about from the very beginning. So, here's the bottom line. This whole messy public fight over one job has become a fight for the future of the U.S. economy. It's a battle over one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Should politicians control our money? A war for your wallet is being fought right now, out in the open. The only question left is, who's going to win?